Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Follow the wind.
30 seconds until minions spawn. The Summoner's Rift. Thirty. The Summoner's Rift. Thirty. The Summoner's Rift. 30 Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Hey, what's up YouTube? Hostile Thuggery back with a quick update video here for you, and the video is going to be a quick update to the how to get your YouTube video. First achieve this, you'll be brought to a screen so to follow to a screen. There's different platforms to download to get the YouTube chat to appear OBS video. Here for the other streams that I do from time to time, ignore those. Imagine that this box is blank for you and you are just going to right click and add a scene. I've already done this here with scene 1, and a scene has many sources. So all we need to do here is literally click on add, browse a source, name it something sensible like chat box, and click OK. Oh, it's already in use. I'll call it chatbox 2. Okay, so by default, the browser source URL is directed to theobsproject.com. As you can see there, it's got the web page on the scene there. So what you need to do is specify your width and your height and the FPS at what that element will be running at. So if you're running at 60 frames per second on your stream, you might want to bump it up to 60. If it's a 30 FPS stream, you can run it as a 30 FPS stream. So here, what you want to do is basically navigate to your YouTube account. So let me just bring up my YouTube channel here. I am going to blur certain things out because it's kind of important to do that. And you should end up with a dashboard. So down the left hand side you have live streaming. Once you are on the live streaming tab, you'll be brought to the stream now section, and in the right hand side you will actually have the chat box. Down to the right of the chat box is the 3 dots, and you want to pop out the chat. The top link you want to copy out of there, close, and you want to pop out the chat. The top link you want to copy out of there, close everything off, and go back to your chat box. So now that we've got the URL in our clipboard, we just want to put that into the URL field here, like so. Specify the width, the height. Let me just show you an example of this. Let me just half everything. The width, the height, the frames per second, and then the CSS. I'm not going to show you the CSS quite yet, but I will go into that just after this section. So now we have, as you can see, a small chat box that looks exactly like the window we had open from YouTube. So because we don't want it to look like that, and we actually want it to have other properties, such as not showing the background and just showing the text and who's written it, we will have to drop in some CSS. That stands for cascading style sheets, and it's what websites use to basically stylize all the elements within a page, and it does that by targeting IDs and classes of certain pieces of text. So because we're effectively pointing our chat box to the YouTube chat box web page, that little web page does have HTML, probably JavaScript, and some other server-side languages that we don't really need to know about, as well as it'll have some CSS. So the browser that we have in our scenes, so the chat box that we named, can actually support separate CSS. Let me just try and get to it, there we go, which is here. So we can override everything that we're grabbing from this page with our own custom CSS. So if I just go to my chat box properties here, I have a long list of CSS. Now we have the CSS within our clipboard. We want to pop it in here. Basically get rid of everything else, press Ctrl and V or right click and paste and click OK, and you'll notice that the web page has actually gone from being a white, horrible, not very well looking element to now transparent background and just the text on that. And a scene has many sources. So all we need to do here is literally click on Add, Browser Source, name it something sensible like click OK. So there it is, and if it's a 30 is down side, you have streaming. Go back to your chat box. So now that we've got the URL in our clipboard, we just want to put that into the URL field here, like so. Specify the width, the height. Let me just show you an example of this. Let me just half everything. the width, the height, the frames per second, and then the CSS on my section. See a small chat box.
What's up guys, Red Flyer here, back with another video up here because I'm recording this with the old legacy OBS. Then I got OBS Studio and I got Chrome here. This live streaming page, you go to video manager, then on the side here, on the right here, that, and now the chat has popped out right here and you have a link at the top. So you have to copy this link, just Control C or right click and copy. And then you can close out of that. And now you want to go into OBS. We're all done with the browser part, to be honest. Might have typing in chat, so I'm going to move this over here. There we go. And you're going to go to your OBS. And you're going to add a new source. And the source that you want is going to be a browser source. Right here, as you guys can see. You can click browser source. And you can name it whatever you want. I already have one named chat. So I'll go chat, tutorial chat. And press OK. And then you do not want to make it a local file because it is not a local file. It's actually going to be the link that you just copied right there. There it is. That is your chat, the link to your live chat right there. And I did not finish it. Hold on. Touch chat. I did not mean to press enter.
I'm going to show you how to add chat to OBS, a ticker, and some other. So what you want to do is you want to click on the three bars at the top. You want to click on Pop Out Chat. Now when this happens, it's going to give you and you want to into your OBS Studio. You want to click on the plus icon down here at the bottom under your sources, and you want to add a browser source. When you do that, all you have to do is call it whatever you want to call it yourself. And then you want to add your source to it. So what I'm going to do in this situation, because I know that my frame is 1280 by 720. So I'm going to go ahead and make the height 720. So it covers the whole thing. And let's make it 300 pixels wide. And we're going to keep the frames per second at 30 because that is currently what my webcam is set at. Now, if you have a webcam where you're set at 60 frames per second, then you might want to make this match up so that you don't get anything weird happening. Once that pops up, then you are just going to scale it into place. And once your video goes live, then you will actually see the chat pop up here. And again, if you want to make it any different, all you have to do is you go into the properties. Let's say you want to make it a little bit wider, maybe to cover up a little bit more of the screen. Then you do that, and then it's going to cover up a little bit more of the screen. You do all of that by right-clicking and going into Properties. So now that you have your chat box there, let's say that you want to add a ticker or text that scrolls across the bottom of your stream to let people know, to let new people that are coming into your chat, to let them know what it is that you're doing on your channel. First thing you want to do is you want to actually create the graphic that you're going to use for this. I created some in Photoshop. You can also get some inside of our members area at tubertools.com. But to add these yourself, what you want to do is you want to go in, you want to click on the add icon, and then you go to image. And then I'm going to put ticker BG for background. I'm going to click OK. And then I'm going to go find it. For me, I have a specific folder that is my desktop stream graphics. So basically I know for a fact that this is where I need to go in order to, get these graphics so it's organized. But in this situation, I'm going to click on this for the ticker background, and I'm going to add it, and you're going to see it pop up on the screen there. So in this situation, because I make my graphics at 1920 by 1080, as you can see, I have this red frame that shows me that it's way off of the frame. So what I have to do is I have to grab a corner here and shrink this down and actually pull it into place. So if you're streaming at full size and you make your graphic at 1920 by 1080, this will just snap right into place. But because I have this particular setup at 1280 and my graphic is at 1920 by 1080, then it makes it to where I actually have to scale it down into place. But the next thing we're going to do is we are going to add the actual text that will go on top of the ticker. To do that, we go down and we click on the plus icon one more time. Then we go up to the text option. I'm just going to call this ticker. Now, the really cool thing about this is they actually give us the color, the text, it will say, right? So what I'm going to do is white and my ticker background me inside font mention so that nation or now, once you are in the filters dialog, you want to click on the plus, and then you want to click on scroll. Now, when you do this, I'm just going to leave it as scroll, and I'm going to click OK. And what this is going to do is soon as I start adjusting the horizontal speed, as you can see there, over here to the left, it's going to start moving. And the faster I scoot this over, the faster my text is going to move. So in your situation, depending on how fast you want this to move, you can just make the adjustment here. If you have a vertical scroll for some reason, then you could do the same thing here, but it makes more sense in this particular situation to make a horizontal scroll instead. Once you have your speed set, then just click close and you are good to go on the scroller. So if we were live right now, then we would have this chat coming in. We would see our chat box here, and then we would have our scroller down here on the bottom reminding people what's going on if they happen to be like this, right? You can go ahead and out normal, transition that in dialog, which is pretty awesome. So the same thing applies. Let's say that we want to add a graphic to the top of this. Another thing to remind people to subscribe, then I would do top graphic, toss it into place. And this one also, because of the size that I'm working with, it came out, a tad big, so I need to scale this down in order to make it fit. But right here, because I took the time to add graphics, I'm reminding people to subscribe for the type of content that I make, and I have a scroller basically keeping them informed with what I do. Then I would also have the chat rolling there along the side of the video to, keep things interesting, let people see their name on the screen and things. So if they make sure to hit the round subscribe icon right now so you don't miss anything. I'm going to show you how to make your live stream
need to know about.
But the next thing we're going to do is we are going to add the actual text that will go on top of the ticker. To do that, we go down and we click on the plus icon one more time. Then we go up to the text option. I'm just going to call this ticker.